So today I want to talk to you about what makes a really productive day. So I had a really productive day today, and there were a few things I learned from what made that day so productive, and I'll share them with you. So if that's relevant to you, keep on watching, keep on listening, hope you find it useful. Welcome back to consecutive day 1776 of a diary of a Runpreneur. Today's topic is all about productive days, what really makes them productive, and things you can kind of potentially try to kind of improve your productivity levels. But before we get started, don't forget this vlog is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, a distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. The more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at hand, productive days. So as always, this is my diary, so something would have happened to have triggered this episode, and to be quite frank, I had a really productive day today. Simple as that. And sometimes I have days which are really unproductive, and sometimes I have days that are incredibly productive. And I'm a student of productivity, so I'm constantly looking at ways in which I can replicate whatever happened in that productive day to make it occur on a more frequent basis. And so what kind of happened today? Well, I think, to be perfectly clear, I was changing environment so frequently today that I didn't get enough time to kind of have my concentration levels fatigue and lose the flow. You know what they call the flow, when you find that productivity flow where you're just super productive. It doesn't last forever. You need to capitalize on it when you do go through those periods. And when you lose it, it's sometimes quite difficult to get back. So what did I kind of do today that was so productive? Now, I did a lot of high level stuff as well, which is really good, which kind of makes you feel really well. But I also managed to get a lot of administrative stuff that I have to approve and check and all this type of stuff sorted as well, which again was a really kind of good thing to get done. And like I said earlier, what I put it down to was a change of environment frequently. So I started my day, I had a Zoom call with my team, a product development meeting. We kind of dealt with a lot of issues, we solved a lot of issues, we made a big amount of progress in that meeting as a team. So it was a really productive meeting, which kind of spearheaded the day. I then went to meet one of my other colleagues, and unfortunately this colleague arrived and had some kind of personal related issues with transport and things I had to address. So rather than sit there and wait around for us to crack on with what we had set, I quickly adjusted my day and I went off to run a work errand, which was dropping legal documentations into a solicitor. And it was one of those things that I probably could have outsourced it, but I wanted to do it because I also had some calls that I needed to make, and I hate calls, phone calls, incredibly disruptive. I'll always let voice recordings or answer phone messages, so to speak, voicemail is what I mean. I let that build up, and then I hit it unless it's something super urgent when I'm on a journey. So I can kind of kill two birds with one stone. When I'm driving, I can't do other things, but I can box off all the outstanding calls. And I managed to get 3 or 4 really calls that had just been sitting there for a long time, needed to be dealt with, boxed off. Whilst I also got this important errand of dropping these legal documents off at a solicitor's firm. So I really capitalised on that time. By the time I got back, the colleague I was meeting had sorted their stuff out, and then we cracked on with what we needed to do. So we went off, we had to go on a field trip for the property portfolio business to sort a few things out. I didn't need to do it, but again, we were running behind, so I decided to go with my colleague so that we could box off our meeting agenda in the car, when otherwise I would have been, you know, sitting in a cafe or in a office space of some kind, you're sitting there having another meeting. So I killed 2 birds with one stone. I drove across with them, did the meeting in the car, and then whilst my colleague was doing what she needed to do in and around the town where we had the houses, I kind of sat down in a cafe and cracked on with my high level work. And again, just by only having a period of about 90 minutes, I was super productive, got everything I needed to get done, to the extent that I'd finished just in time for when my colleague had finished, for when we drove back, debriefed, updated all our action points and agenda and set the tone for next week, and then got back for another meeting that I had, which was to do with spearheading our sales campaign, which again, really, really important, but I managed to fit that around what was already a very busy day. Really productive final call, lots of key actions agreed, identified, put into place, and yeah, day over. So what did I learn from that day? Well, there was so much changing of environment. I was in 2 different cafes, I think 4 separate car journeys. I was in my office on 2 occasions. I had online meetings, I had in-person meetings. There was so much happening that I had no time to get a kind of mental fatigue and kind of procrastinate, because I was always thinking about what's next. Some would argue that that was just crazy busyness. Now, I don't think for the life of me I should be doing that every day, because it's just not, I think it was super productive, but just the other way down the day fell. But I certainly, the learnings from my diary, I've identified that for me as an individual, again, this might be different for other people, I stagnate in different environments if I'm stuck in one for too long. So if I can mix up my environment in kind of 2-hour chunks, I don't procrastinate or lose enough kind of time in my flow. I'm constantly reinvigorating my day with a change of environment, and that has made a huge difference to me, especially if you're home-based and you have the flexibility that I've got. With flexibility comes risk as well, as flexibility sometimes means I could sit on the sofa and watch TV, and that's not going to get me any closer to my goals. So for me, looking at kind of blocks of 2-hour windows and changing my environment, if I'm working 4-6 hours a day, whatever I'm working for that day, break it down into 2-hour blocks, change my environment up systematically, and the productivity level will skyrocket. So I hope that's useful. As always, any questions or comments, drop me a line. Any relevant ones I'll respond to all. Do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, a distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style, and do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.